this is Jessica, and today I want to talk to you about purity. And what I want to talk to you about is myths about purity. And I've come up with 3 different myths regarding this subject. And the first one is, purity is abstaining from all forms of sexual activity or immorality. And while this is true, and I definitely agree that you need to abstain from sexual immorality, purity goes beyond just abstaining from sex. Purity is to be morally clean and without blemish. It is being in right standing with God. And you should obey God because you love Him. This is found in 1 John 5:3. And purity does not mean that we have to be perfect, but it means that we make Jesus the Lord or Master of our lives. Second myth is this: you lose your purity once your marriage is consummated. And I definitely disagree with this. I have heard Christians say to wait until marriage for a person to take away your purity. That's not biblical. If you wait until marriage to have sex, you are doing what is right in the Lord's eyes, and which means you don't lose your purity just because you have sex. You walk in purity as long as you are doing what's right in God's eyes. The third myth that I want to talk about is, once you lose your virginity, you can't get your purity back. And I definitely disagree with this as well. Sometimes people mess up, and it happens. I'm not saying it's okay to compromise your purity, but like I said, it does happen. And it's true that once you lose your virginity, you can't get it back, but you can always stop having sex and go back to purity. God can always take what is broken and turn it into something beautiful. He does it all the time. And He can restore your purity, and you can go back to waiting until marriage. And I know that some people may think that going back to purity is not possible, but it definitely is. And sometimes people think, I've already had sex, so I might as well keep doing it. But I want you to know that you don't have to. It is never too late to choose purity, and it is possible to live in purity. I'm living proof. I messed up and had sex before marriage, and I regret not waiting for the one person who deserves me and who God has for me. But when I got saved in 2012, I chose to go back to purity and waiting until marriage. And you can always repent and ask God to forgive you, and He can restore your purity. And this is something you can do as well if you want to. It's what I did. But I went out and bought myself a purity ring, and it wasn't my parents' choice, it wasn't anybody else's choice, it was just my choice. And this is my purity ring. But anyway, I bought it as a reminder to myself of the promise that I made to God, that I'm going to wait until I'm married and keep my purity. And it was definitely a great choice. There have been times where I've been tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I'm human too, but my purity ring has served as a great reminder of my promise that I made to God. So, but yeah, that was the 3 myths that I want to talk about, and I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and God bless.
Gospel to proclaim to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation and tribe and language and people. And He said with a loud voice, Fear God and give Him glory, for the hour of His judgment